Hello Wolverines and welcome to the show. I am your host Lauren Nye, and on behalf of our cast and crew, we would like to thank you for tuning in to the second installment of the show. In this episode, we will be providing you the latest information on local businesses, club activity, and even our recently announced Teacher of the Year. Up first, we have a story about many of our talented band students at West who are familiar with a local music store by the name of Ponce de Leon. Join us as Blake Henderson, Kyle Bennett, and Logan Compton uncover a musician's story and the joys of what it means to be a frequent customer at the store.
When you look at the band, you're probably paying attention to the music they play, not the instruments they perform with. A good amount of these instruments come from Ponce de Leon Music Store off the Dahlonega Highway. We spoke with Kayla Burrow to get the full story.
My experience at Ponce de Leon has been pretty standard. They help fix my instrument a bunch of times. That's it's useful. And I like the people that work there. They're pretty nice, pretty chill, good atmosphere.
While Ponce de Leon is a big supplier of band instruments, they also sell guitars, drums, basses, recording equipment, and they even offer lessons for their customers. We spoke to an instructor at the store, Chris Martin, who teaches guitar. Chris, tell us how you got started in music.
Actually got started by a family friend who went to church with us. Was a guitar teacher here, and he just nagged me over and over again to come in and take some lessons. I eventually gave in, and we took lessons with him for about 3 or 4 years, and just kept going from there. Switched to another teacher over here at Ponce, and just continued my music education.
So would you say that influence sparked your passion for teaching, or is there something else further along the line in your musical career that made you want to teach?
I would say it happened a little bit later on. That essentially started me into wanting to learn more and more songs, more repertoire, just kind of getting, and it kind of propelled me into doing different things musically, because essentially he was teaching me kind of the basic chords and whatnot, more in the country and bluegrass style. From there, I wanted to go, obviously, I wanted to play more rock and roll and do that whole thing. And later on, after I got into music school, that's kind of what sparked my teaching passion, more or less, because I really saw how you could break it down to the most basic levels of music education and bring it up from there, and then have just about anybody be able to understand music.
So what would you say is your favorite aspect overall of teaching guitar and music in general?
As far as teaching, I would definitely have to say just watching a student understand music bit by bit. It never really comes as the full picture, so just watching them get little snapshots here.
Seeing them progress as they go along.
For sure. As far as everything else in music, just going out and playing and watch people having a good time. That's the reason why we do it. We can get caught up in the minutia of all of this, but really it's just so people can have a good time listening to what you do. And I do it for a living. It's the easiest thing in the world. So.
All right, Chris, thank you.
No problem.
In our last show, we covered the ongoing competition in the Sculpture 2 classes called the Clay Wars. Let's take a look at how the competition is coming along.
You may remember from our last episode that Miss Jumper's Sculpture 2 class was working on the Clay Wars project. Here's an update on how the projects are going. After students finished sculpting their projects, the projects had to be fired. While the projects were being fired, students worked on another project. After the projects were fired, students had to work together to glaze the projects. Now that the Clay Wars projects are glazed, students are glazing another project while they wait for the Clay Wars projects to be fired.
the show, we like to have a bit of fun. So sit back, relax, and prepare to laugh with Marley Draper and Alexis Ellabrock as they tell some classic dad jokes.
My hands are really sweaty. Okay, I'll go first. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
How much does a hipster weigh?
How much?
An Instagram.
That one wasn't good.
Yeah.
That one was not good. Want to hear a joke about paper? Never mind, it's terrible. Okay, you go.
Slept like a log last night. Woke up in the fireplace.
What's Forrest Gump's password? One Forrest, one.
That was good. A termite walks into a bar and asks, "Is the bartender here?"
Not again. No! Okay. How does a penguin build its house? It glues together. How are you doing? You're so good at this. Where did the one-legged waitress work? IHOP. No. I don't know if that's like
What do you call a sheep
Not
with
good.
no legs?
what.
A cloud.
A man woke up in a hospital after a serious accident. He shouted, "Doctor, doctor, I can't feel my legs." The doctor replied, "I know you can't. I've cut off your arms." I didn't get it.
What's brown and sticky?
No. No.
A stick. It's nice seeing you.
I probably lost.
Our cross-country team has really hit the ground running this season. Let's take a look at the team's current progress and the goals they plan to achieve for this season.
The cross-country team has been running away with top awards and doing amazing so far this season. West Forsyth varsity guys took third place at the Lambert River Run. Let's see what some of their athletes have to say about the season so far and how it's going.
Hi, I'm Kyle Bennett. Logan Contone. Well, I think the most important thing in improving in cross country is consistency. Running through the off season, doing track, stuff like that, that isn't necessarily the same sport, but it keeps you running in times that you wouldn't be. So that loss that some people experience when they're not running in the off season, you get even faster to make you better for the next season.
I think just throughout the season and throughout like how many years I've been doing cross country, I've just improved like time-wise and running maturity-wise, because all you really have to do is train hard, train smart, eat well, get a good amount of sleep, and be smart about it, and you should see improvement.
Well, I plan to continue in improving my diet and my sleep patterns, because I think throughout the season that's what's probably hurt me the worst, and to stay consistent running and probably push a little harder this track season than I did last season, because I feel like that really helps us develop as runners for cross country.
As you can probably tell, the cross country team at West Forsyth is doing great things. We cannot wait to see what all happens this season.
Now on to our weekend weather forecast with Alexis Ellebrock.
Good afternoon, Wolverines. My name is Alexis Ellebrock, and this is your weekend weather outlook. On Friday today, it will be a high of 91 with a low of 70 and a 10% chance of rain. You don't need to bundle up for tonight's away game out at Peachtree Ridge. On Saturday, it will continue to be a high of 91 with a low of 69 and another 10% chance of rain. Moving onwards to the weekend, on Sunday, it will be a high of 88 with a low of 69, moving up to a 50% chance of rain due to the effects of Hurricane Florence. Hurricane Florence has thankfully downgraded from a Category 4 to a Category 2 hurricane. However, we will still be hit with it with the rain aftermath of the rainfall. A closer look at the hurricane is it will mostly likely be hitting the Carolinas, but we will thankfully be okay. This has been Alexis Ellebrock with your weekend weather forecast.
Thanks, Alexis. Are you a trivia addict? Let's see if you can get these questions right in our video of West walking.
I'm here with Jack and Lance. I'm going to ask them a couple questions. So, what is the name of our principal?
Mr. Carl Mercer.
Yeah, Carl Mercer is our principal.
What year did the school open?
2007.
Oh, big man, 2007.
2007.
Yeah. What's the name of your counselor?
Miss Campbell.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, Miss Campbell.
Okay. So Dylan, who's our principal at West Forsyth?
I do not know.
Who's the prince? Okay, his name's Mr. Mercer. What's his first name?
I don't know.
What year did this school open?
2010.
Okay. What's your name of your counselor?
I do not know.
Okay. What is the name of our principal?
Lord Mercer.
What's the first name?
Lord.
What year did the school open?
2007.
What is the name of your counselor?
I don't know.
What is the name of our principal?
Carl Mercer.
What year did the school open?
1975.
What's the name of your counselor?
It was Miss Chacho. Now it's Miss Campbell.
Okay.
Wait, can I say something? I'm like so good at trivia, so I won.
Alrighty. So what's our principal's name?
Mr. Mercer.
What's his first name?
Mr.
What year did the school open?
2007.
All right, what's the name of your counselor?
Chicho or something.
All right.
I don't know.
All right, what's the name of our principal?
Mr. Mercer.
What's his first name?
Mr.
What year did the school open?
What year did the school open?
I don't know. 2000. No, that's not right. Isn't it 2007?
Maybe.
2007.
What's the name of your counselor?
Miss Woodsworth.
Okay.
The recipient of the Teacher of the Year award was recently announced as Mary Beth Rush, a teacher who is a favorite among West students. Our production team uncovers the story of what this award means to Mrs. Rush and her fellow coworkers.
Recently, Mrs. Rush was given Teacher of the Year, so we went to interview her, and this is what she said.
What does being Teacher of the Year mean to you?
Well, in a word, a lot. I think being Teacher of the Year is definitely an honor, a surprise, because there are so many incredible teachers here.
What do you think you did to get Teacher of the Year?
Probably no more than anyone else. I love teaching the ninth graders and working with them, and I love their energy. So I think it takes also a special person to stay with ninth graders for so much of the day, but I also really think it's right for me. maybe that's something that people were thinking of Teacher of the Year. I work with a couple of other groups, but more than anything, I just try to show up and do my job the same way that every teacher does every day here. Right. I couldn't do it without the team. And I really think that it's an honor for me personally and a highlight of my life, really. Definitely my teaching life. But more than anything, it's the experience of just being at an incredible school, and I couldn't ask for more.
Thank you, Mrs. Rush, for the interview, and congratulations to Teacher of the Year.
Last week, our football team played an exciting game, but unfortunately came out on bottom. Let's hope that they can redeem themselves tonight at Peachtree Ridge. Our football team could really use your support. The show is dedicated to finding and reporting on stories that the student body has to share. In our next segment, we will be following a student's pursuit in creating a mountain biking team at West. Let's take a look at his most recent journey.
The world is full of many sports that take athletes through daring activities. One of which you may be unfamiliar with is mountain biking. The sport takes riders through the mountains of Georgia on a vigorous journey that allows you to take in the marvelous views while also getting a rejuvenating workout. Forsyth has its very own local team made up of a diverse group of people. The group meets every Tuesday and Thursday where riders prepare for races and work on bettering their skills. I sat down with student and rider Austin Marsh to get a look at the team.
We just started as a full team in FOCO, just one huge team, and in the past 2 years we've gotten over closely 100 new riders in FOCO. Just, I guess, having a good time while you ride.
The growth of Forsyth's League is now expanding to our public schools, with recent development at North Forsyth High School, and hopefully soon at West, with the efforts of Austin Marsh.
And I think it would be pretty cool if West got to start their own team and, another sport. I feel like there hasn't been anything new in a while, and this is something new to bring to West. I want to try something new, and I feel like if someone at West does do mountain biking, they don't really show it in the school, and it's not a sport officially here. And if people do mountain bike, they can start doing it with people at the school to create a community thing.
Mountain biking is a great way to get involved, get some exercise, and make friends. And with all of its recent growth, there's never been a better time to become a mountain biker. For more information on Forsyth's League, you can email them at forsythmtbcomp@gmail.com. And if you're interested in West's future team, contact Austin Marsh at atmarsh24@gmail.com.
In each show, we hope to bring you new information about the going-ons here at West. Our first club that we would like to introduce you to is Mu Alpha Theta.
Welcome, freshmen. Some of you may not know this, but we have over 100 clubs for you to be a part of here at West. This week, we will be going over one of the many unrecognized clubs at this school, Mu Alpha Theta.
Mu Alpha Theta is a math honor society, so it's similar to National Honor Society. Its focus is just being an honor society for mathematics. So members of Mu Alpha Theta will come once a month to a meeting to learn something that they can understand as high school students, but that's interesting or fun or something that we typically wouldn't learn in the regular high school mathematics. The other thing that they do is students will give back to our school by peer tutoring other students that are struggling with mathematics, helping all students in our school to be more comfortable with math. So meetings are once a month in my room, room 2310. They're one Wednesday a month at 7:45 in the morning. Students will be peer tutoring, helping out the mathematics teachers during lunch times in the Math Extra Help Labs.
In our final segment today, we leave you with some words of wisdom from Mr. Davis.
Hi, I'm Coach Davis, and I've been asked to share life lessons. The number one thing I'd like to share with you is don't be a fool. The number one thing trying to fool you is advertisers. For instance, toothpaste. All toothpaste that have fluoride listed as an ingredient are the exact same, so pick one you like and use it twice a day. I'm not kidding. Nobody wants to smell that. The active ingredient is sodium fluoride, and even in the worst fluoride toothpaste, it's 0.12%. Out of Mr. Mercer's salary, that you could go to the movies by yourself. It's not that much. Whitening toothpaste has 0.24%, so it's double the amount. I'm not sure it makes your teeth any cleaner or whiter. They're selling it to you. So don't be a fool. Don't waste your money on expensive type toothpaste. Just brush your teeth multiple times a day.
We hope you have enjoyed this week's show. A reminder to each of you, this is a show about West. If you have ideas or a story you would like to share with us, come visit Mr. White in the Broadcasting Department on the 1500 Hall in room 1502. I'm Lauren Nye with the show, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend.